welcome back to my channel. I'm anybody still sticking with me and watching my endless frickin' show off my movies and talk about them marathon. I appreciate it. I basically have an endless supply of movies to talk about and showcase, so it's gonna keep on going. Yeah, I'll just start off right away. First one up here is King Kong. This is the 2005 remake here on 4K. Ultimate Edition, absolutely beautiful 4K here. Comes with the 4K, the Blu-ray, and then bonus features disc. I love everything about this movie except for the stupid dinosaur scene. I know it's notorious just for its bad CG. It really, that one scene, if you could just remove that, add something else in, to me this would be like a perfect King Kong remake. But even other than that, like this has an all-star cast. Jack Black and probably one of his best actual performances. You got Naomi Watts as Miss Sparrow here, and Adrian Brody, Colin Hanks, Andy Serkis plays Kong himself. Like, just stacked cast. What do you say about King Kong? If you haven't seen this version, definitely pick it up on 4K. It sounds beautiful, looks beautiful. It's like the super edition, basically. Like, you never have to buy it again. This is the beast. But yeah, it's got so many good scenes. I absolutely love right from the opening, like just the New York City setting, classic New York City setting, and then amazing performances from everybody across the board. Absolutely love the performances. Kong himself still looks great. The CG holds up in this movie for him. For the other stuff it doesn't, but for him it does. But yeah, I love when they first arrive there, and the native tribe of Skull Island. They all look really creepy. It's all well done. I love how dark it is, like how gritty those scenes are. They even kill a couple people. And then, yeah, anybody that hasn't seen King Kong knows where it goes next. Like, he falls in love with, it is Miss Sparrow, right? Like, I feel like I'm getting that fucking character name wrong. It's absolutely ridiculous that I'm not, that the character name has left my mind. It blows my mind. Anyways, he falls in love with the girl, and you know what happens next. It's like a sad love story for King Kong, and you're rooting for him basically. He becomes the hero, and the humans are bad. And excellent, honestly. You need to pick it up if you don't have it. It's an absolutely must-have on 4K. You will not be disappointed with King Kong. I would give this version of King Kong a 4. Like it a lot. Next up here, I have the Scream Factory, just regular Blu-ray edition of Pumpkinhead. I do want to upgrade this to the 4K edition. I have a very hard time, if I have a Blu-ray, buying the 4K of movies. It's really hard for me to drop that money because I could be using that money to add new movies to my collection that I don't have. But Pumpkinhead is one of my favorite movies from the 80s. What year did this exactly come out? 88. It's one of my absolute favorite movies of the 80s. I think this is like Lance Henriksen's, like, other than Alien, obviously, Alien franchise, I think this is his best role. And this is probably his best role too, because he's the lead in it. But oh man, the creature design on Pumpkinhead is so freaking good. Like, this is one of the best designed creatures of all time. Pretty sure Stan Winston is responsible as well, of Muppets fame, amongst other things. It's directed by Stan Winston, so I'm guessing. Just love the storyline here. It's so freaking Halloween feeling. Like, it's just great. Like, if anybody hasn't seen it, it's a group of teenagers. They accidentally hit Lance Henriksen's son while dirt biking, and Lance Henriksen goes and summons Pumpkinhead, the local legend demon, vengeful spirit demon, and Pumpkinhead goes on a tear to get revenge for all the people. And then there's a great twist at the end. Not really a twist, just a storyline arc that goes in a different direction. It's not a twist, but the storyline arcs. But yeah, man, it's such a good Halloween movie. I absolutely love Pumpkinhead, and this is one I will be upgrading to 4K when I can. But yeah, just that cover art's nice too. Like, I love the pumpkin patch field. It's just so freaking good. Anyone that hasn't seen Pumpkinhead, get out there, grab Pumpkinhead. Any version of it is good. I do want to get I wish I could get the rest of the series, but good God, are they ever impossible to get your hands on? Like, I know the rest of them aren't good, but I'd still like to have them all in the series. It really bugs me when you can't get your hands on certain movies that you're looking for. Alright, next up here. This is a double watch here. I watched The Last Exorcism and The Last Exorcism Part 2. These are both, I shouldn't say both. I love The Last Exorcism. I think this is it's a top-notch found footage film for me, overall. And I just think the performances are so good. The storyline, I know you've seen it before, it's just your typical cult stuff, but I mean, it's done so well here. This lead actress, what's her name? Oh man, so bad with names. Oh wow, and go figure, she's not even on the back of the cover. Yeah, anyways, the lead actress in these two movies is absolutely excellent. Ashley Bell, I believe her name is. In this first movie, the storyline's great. If you haven't seen it, it's a priest that performs exorcisms, but he doesn't believe in them. He thinks he's just helping people get over their mental illnesses and stuff. And then he stumbles upon Nell, and I'm not going to give away anything because if you haven't seen it, it does have a couple twists and turns, goes in different directions. Now, I don't think this is a movie that needed a part 2, but we got one anyway. And although I don't mind the storyline here, like I said, it feels unnecessary. Like, this first movie is a great standalone movie. This one's just adding unnecessary material to the world. But it is what it is. The horror movies they do this. They soak series for as much as they think they can get out of them. And this is a prime example. This first, like The Last Exorcism, I'd give it like a 4. Maybe even a 4.5, but probably a 4. Let's say a 4.25. This one I'd give like a 2, 2.5 maybe, for a couple good parts. But I wish the second one could have been more like the first, but obviously they can't do that. But yeah, If you haven't seen these two movies, definitely grab them. They're both worthy. Like the first one's like an absolute must in your collection if you're a horror collector. The second one's just an add-on, basically. But yeah, definitely check them out. This next one here is from Severin Films. This is The Changeling. It's got this nice slipcover here. I will check on reversible art. Don't think so, but you never know. No reversible. It's a bit of a bummer. I like when, if you have a slipcover, I like being able to put different art on the inside, but whatever. Yeah, this is from Severin. Like, absolute classic from 1980. George C. Scott's acting in this is damn near perfect. Like, you can't really pull this role off much better. I also hate when these slipcovers are so tight that you can't hardly get the damn disc back in without wrecking shit. Beautiful slip though. Like, this is all, what do you call it? Holographic? I don't know the name. But it all sticks out. You can feel it all. Yeah, 1980. The Changeling. Classic ghost story shit here. George C. Scott's family has a tragedy at the beginning. I'm not going to ruin anything. I try to walk this fine line of no spoilers, but also giving my reviews and thought. That's really hard to do. A tragedy happens, and he ends up in an old haunted house that he doesn't know is haunted, obviously, and things just slowly start to happen that make him question his sanity, basically, and whether or not he's dealing with an actual haunting or whether he's just losing his mind. His acting is what sells this movie for me. It's got some creepy moments as well, and just some good classic ghost house feel. But I think The Changeling is an absolute must-own. This is a top-notch, like top 5 for 1980. And 1980 is a pretty solid year in horror. But yeah, if you don't have The Changeling, pick it up. This is a great transfer from Severin as well. I don't think they've put this out on 4K yet. I'm guessing it probably will get a 4K sooner or later because it's a classic. But as far as I know, that the Blu-ray is the only way to pick this up as of now. But either or, this Blu-ray transfer is so beautiful that, like, it's good enough. You don't need any more. But yeah, grab Changeling. This next one here, this is one I just did tonight on a live stream with Our Life in Horror. We did about an hour, 10 minutes of talking about this movie, dissecting it, all of our thoughts, all three of our thoughts on the whole thing. Sam absolutely loves this movie from Our Life in Horror, and Brendan was a little less than her, and I'm a little less than him. To me, this movie is about a 2.5 to 3 on second thoughts. On their channel, I think I ended up saying that I gave it a 3.5, but I'm actually gonna down my score to a 2.5 for this. There's multiple reasons. My score might go up upon second viewing. My biggest reason why this is low for me is because I had watched The First Omen just 1 week before I watched this. And they're so similar in what they're doing, like all their character, everything's so similar, the feel, the atmosphere, everything, that I feel like I might have been a little burnt out of watching the exact same movie twice. And I also think that the acting and the atmosphere and everything is done a lot better in the first Omen, and that this is like kind of a B movie to that one. But like with that said, it's still a must see. It's still one of the best horror movies of 2024 so far. I haven't seen a whole lot from this year yet, but it's still pretty damn good. Sydney Sweeney here. This is the first movie I've ever seen her in. I've heard her trending constantly for the last couple of years with all of her giant boob scenes in movies and stuff. And I had never seen her in anything before. And she's not bad. Like, I think she's getting a little more attention than she deserves at the moment. But I hope she sticks to horror and gives us like one a year even, because I think she has a lot of potential to become a lead scream queen of our times right now. There was a couple moments in this movie where her acting was really, really good. And then there's a few moments where I don't like it. Like, it's weird. Like, on their live stream, I gave her the best actor in the movie, actress. And then I also gave her the worst. Because it bounced for me. Like, 1 minute she was good, the next minute I was like, that could have been better. But yeah, it's a must-see. It's if you've seen the first Omen, maybe wait and give this one a couple months before you watch it, because I truly think the first Omen's better in every single way. Like, there's nothing in this that's done better than in that. So, yeah, give Immaculate a watch, and let me know what you think about it in the comments if you've seen it. And if you've seen First Omen, which one you think's better? I got 2 left for this episode. My last horror movie of this episode is Sleepy Hollow on 4K here. An absolute must have on 4K. This is beautiful picture and sound. It's kind of one of those movies that 4K really brings those dark black and whites out, basically, and just stunning visuals. And I love this movie. Like, I don't really know what the internet and the rest of the world think of it. I haven't really looked into the reviews or anything. I'll find out in a few minutes when I go to post all my scores on my Letterboxd. But I think this is like a 4. I love the characters. I love the atmosphere. It's so gothic feeling. This is directed by Tim Burton, right? Yeah, Tim Burton. Johnny Depp, Christina Ricci, Miranda Richardson, Casper Van Dien, Jeffrey Jones, music by Danny Elfman. Like, it's stacked. Christopher Walken as the Headless Horseman. Oh, it does. It comes with the 4K and the Blu-ray. That's nice. I guess it says that on the cover. But yeah, I don't know if you can see that because it's so dark. There's the special features. Sleepy Hollow. It just feels so like Sherlock Holmes and just like classic murder mystery set in a creepy gothic tiny English setting town. Like, I love those kind of movies. Sorry, it's freaking hot in here. Got up to, feels like 43 outside here today in Woodstock, Ontario. And I live above a place, above a store, so it's almost like an attic apartment. And it's freaking deadly hot up here. My thermostat was maxed all the way to the very end. So it goes up to 95 degrees. So it was somewhere above 95 degrees in here today. It could have been in the hundreds, like 100 and something. I don't even know how much higher it was. But it was like you were just baking, like sweat. Even right now, it was so hot in here. I went out and bought a third air conditioner. I have 3 air conditioners running in this tiny apartment I live in, and it's still boiling. My thermostat still hasn't dropped below 95, and it's midnight while I'm recording this right now. Fucking nuts. But yeah, Sleepy Hollow. Definitely pick that up on 4K if you can. If not, grab it on anything, because it's a worthy movie for every collection. And then my last one for this episode. This is a classic action film. One of Nicolas Cage's greatest movies of all time, in my opinion, and that is Con Air. I only have this on Blu-ray. I'm not sure if it's come out on 4K. If it has, I need to grab it immediately. I absolutely love fucking Con Air. It is... Oh man, it's just such a guilty pleasure movie. Like, Nicolas Cage is Deep South, heroic portrayal of a criminal is so good in this. Everybody's excellent. John Malkovich, every line he delivers is just solid, perfect amount of cheese. But I don't know, I love everything. Steve Buscemi playing like Hannibal Lecter, basically. Freaking excellent. He looks the part of a child rapist murderer. Like, it's just crazy. All the bad guys. Danny Trejo's in this as a rapist. There's so many good bad guys. And I just love the whole feel. Like, every time they're gonna load some more bad guys onto the plane, and seeing them all come in, and they're like just portraying them as heroic almost. Like, look how awesome this super villain is, and super asshole scumbag. And then yeah, action scenes that are just top notch. Who directed this? Was this okay, it wasn't who I thought. It's Simon West. It's produced by Jerry Bruckheimer. Ving Rhames does an excellent job in this. But it's all about Malkovich and Cage, obviously. And so many good one-liners. If you haven't seen Con Air, honestly, it's a great freaking action movie. It's pretty lengthy. I know it's not short. Oh, it's not that bad. It's almost 2 hours. It's an hour and 55 minutes, which, to be honest, it kind of felt a bit longer than that. It's not in a bad way. I know that usually means bad things when the movie feels way longer than it actually is, but it feels like they give you a good, solid story and backstory on these characters, and make you really hate the bad guys, and make you really root for Nicolas Cage to take these pieces of garbage down. And he does in such an awesome ending sequence. Like, I just love what happens in the final act. Just great stuff. Overall, this is another really solid pile. Nothing here that isn't purchasable for your collection. Every single one of these are must-haves in any collector's collection. I enjoyed every single one of these. I have been cutting back a little bit, obviously, on what I'm watching, like I've said in the last couple episodes, because I'm working on 1996. I'm going to try and... I've pulled out everything I have right now from that year. I didn't actually realize how many movies I had in my collection. You know how hard it was to go through my whole collection and find every movie I have from one specific year? Really hard. Let's just say that. It was a mixture of me having to look at the back of every single case, basically, in my entire collection at years, So I'm actually separating. Like, I left a lot of them separated. That way, if I decide to do another year after this ranking, I don't have to, it won't be such a big job. But just that in itself took me like 3 days of searching just to make sure I found everything. And I found a few that I didn't even know were from the year, like lower name movies. So yeah, it's going to be a good one. I'm going to probably have somewhere between 50 and 100 movies from 1996, that specific year. And I'm going to watch them all. I've watched about 18 or 21 of them. I think the pile's at 21 over there. So I still got quite a ways to go. But yeah, on my next episode, I'll be bringing you an Italian horror box set. I just watched Frank from oh my god, Frank's Media. I was talking to him on his channel, and he recommended me go watch his Italian horror episode he did. And so I did, and it got me so into Italian horror. I was like just obsessed with the collection he has. His freaking collection is I don't know if it's bigger or better than my collection, but man, does he have some nice pieces. He buys all the like collector's editions of all, like, every movie on 4K, and his 4K collection is ridiculous. Like, I was just drooling over how awesome that is. But he did a whole thing where he goes through all of his Italian horror, all his top Italian horror movies, and it just got me so, like, psyched to, even though I've seen most of them that he showed, but it got me into the mood. So I'm going to be bringing an Italian horror box set that has 4 movies in it, and then I'm also going to be doing my second batch of in-print films out of Australia. They sent me 3 movies to review on my Instagram, but I'm also going to show them off on my YouTube channel because I have to watch them and write reviews, and I've watched 2 of them already, and I just have to watch the 3rd. So that'll all be on my Friday's episode. And yeah, I'll probably just leave it at those 7 movies for Friday and talk a little deeper on them and show them more, obviously, too. Show you what they look like. But yeah, thank you for joining me, and I will see you in a couple days.